We in the. You say what we talking about this week, and I want to talk about since it's Sunday. Got to talk about it's a different form of KKK. You know, the other day we was talking about phonetics. Phonetics is just how something sound. You know what I mean?
Talk about that frequency too.
So all right. So a C and a K, when you hear them, they can have the same type of sound and whatnot. So we talking about killers, conquerors, Catholics, colonialism. It's really like a KKK. You dig what I'm saying? Like on some wild shit though.
That's all it's about, yeah. Cult and when the fuck did the mafia come?
All right. So when
that
you
got to be like the end of the Knights Templar.
the mafia and whatnot. Hey, shit. I mean,
they the one running shit, man.
you talk about Italians and whatnot. They say Italy was the theater of war.
Mafia.
Oh, the American mafia. Well, see, I always say that it's that undefeated empire known as Christianity, Catholics.
That's what they call themselves.
That's the real gang out here.
That's the American mafia.
Man, Slim. So all those mafia members gonna be Catholics, ain't they? Italian mafia, they gonna be Catholics. Your KKK, when your KKK ran around and was putting crosses on, burning up crosses, they had the cone hat. Well, shoot, that's Catholic. It's the same thing being done to the Moors in Spain. When Catholics are trying to kick out the Moors. Once again, we got an invader who don't got a castle of their own, so they gotta come and steal a castle. Like, they ain't build nothing in Spain. They ain't build nothing in Europe. By the time they had killed, whacked, and got rid of all the Moors, they gonna be in a grain hall, and from that grain hall, that tower of grain where they used to just you put everything. This is what the Moors had. It was before the feudal system. You had the Moors out there, Joe, and you also had an exodus of white folks basically, and they coming into Europe, and we giving them jobs in them fields. You can work, you can till the field, but it's like Catholicism and Catholics and whatnot. They seen somebody else was in charge, and now they got to be in charge. But the Catholics at that time, they preaching, don't be concerned with worldly things. Don't get into education and all that other stuff. Vice versa, the Moor and the Arab he wanted all new technology. This man got an astrolabe. He can position the stars at sea and find out where he at it in the sea and whatnot. So that Catholic, he gonna be that gang right there done more killing than a little bit. You know they gonna have the crusades up until children. We have a children's crusade.
But the crazy thing, it ain't changed.
It ain't changed. We got Gaza and Israel based on boom, somebody getting killed. What's up, there? How you doing this morning? Yeah, baby. So the gang ain't never been conquered. It done battled. It done lost battles. It done lost the Enlightenment, came up with a New Testament, got a Jesus. But in French, because the French gonna author the Bible, but the Germans gonna print the Bible. Gutenberg Press. But it's written by French cats. So when they come up with Jesus, in French you say Je suis means I am, which takes you back to the Old Testament where they said God's name was I am. So when they came up with a Jesus, they said, well, shit, if the Father named I am, let's name the Son I am. We just gonna name him I am in French. And these motherfuckers we conquering don't know no French. Matter of fact, they gonna be uneducated. So when we look at these Christians, these Catholics and whatnot, they gonna have Constantine around, like, I think that's 10th, 11th century or some shit like that. Constantine gonna have a dream. He gonna say, he gonna wake up in the morning and say, in a cross, we gonna conquer. So the reason why you see all these churches out here with a cross, it go back to him on his death shit. But when you look at the time period when they was looking at their cross, the Moors was looking at north, west, east, and south as directions. This wasn't a when we draw a cross, when the Moor draw a cross, we talking about some type of educated thing going on. When the Christian and the Catholic got a cross, somebody getting murdered. That's a death scene. So Constantine though is in Constantinople, and that's Istanbul, Turkey. When they talk about Byzantine Greeks, they talking about early Christians. But that's Turkey. So when we think about Italy being the home of Christianity and Catholics, and they got all the big dog churches, appreciate you, play. They got all these. Nah, it really started off in Turkey. That's why the white man known as a Caucasian. Outside of the Turkey is the Caucasus Mountain region. Oh, backboard. So when we learning these stories, we gotta understand where this stuff really be going on. That like Greece and Greeks are really in Turkey. That's not Greece like the nation of Greece we see today. Nah, that's Turkey they talking about. Istanbul is Turkey. They got the largest church. It's called the Hagia Sophia. Man, the junk big dome church sit up on a hill big as I don't know what and whatnot. That church is huge. But Moorish, Arabic built. They gonna tell you it's a Christian church later on, but them is you can look at the architecture and see that.
That's what I look at when them Jones was made.
That's the artifacts. When you looking at them artifacts, you need to look at the artifacts. Because the story, once again, the African, we ain't involved in no storytelling and fiction. We want that real shit.
I know they be leaving out something. I don't know what it is, but something they be leaving out when they be talking about their history shit.
Well, they big time leaving out. They leaving out the part how they...
Especially BC.
My whole thing is, they leave out the fact that Alexander the Great, the Greek or whatever like that, this before you get Christianity in Egypt, I swear Alexander the Great gonna go into India, learn Hinduism, pick up Krishna, come back into Africa and label it as Christianity type Ptolemies. Alexander the Great, the Greek and all of them and whatnot. Now when they in Africa, that's when we gonna get this Bible story come about. Old Testament about Moses, a little white boy floating down the river, and now these African kings is like, you can be a king too. But at that time period, he ain't telling you he done came in, invaded, killed everything, and now it's nothing but children left after war. Now these children gotta be given a story, indoctrination about to happen. And it's through religion. It wasn't enough for them to conquer and steal and had them people castles and areas. Nah, they wanted to be worshipped, loved and adored for their killing and conquering. It's an ill thing, Slim.
So were we already here?
Yeah, we got old pieces of us over here, Olmecs. Your Olmecs. But we got to also understand that Brazil, the distance between Brazil and West Africa ain't nothing but that. It's a shorter trip from Brazil to Africa than it is for us to drive from Miami to DC or DC to Miami. So it ain't that much water. You catch the seasonal, the winds and whatnot, and the currents. We was out in that water for so long. We understood not only the water and its principles, the wind and its principles. You had to understand the stars and the constellations, the constant relations those stars have to your position. So I don't know about us swinging around no galaxy and all that other stuff, and we got the same constellations in the sky. We looking at the same thing. It's like I told you we was driving around in a neighborhood, but you keep looking out the window and all you see is a 7-Eleven.
We are spinning though.
I think the sun is moving.
Nah, cause then
I think the sun is moving. Think that mug dances across the sky moves.
Now all the planets spin and have a light and dark side though.
Yeah. All right, so it is a movement going on like a tilt or something like that. But spinning around the galaxy is like driving to a new neighborhood. You're gonna see all new things. There's not gonna be no constant relation anymore. You in a new neighborhood. These new but that ain't what we seeing. And they say water always level. If you want to build this wall, you want to build this column right here, you need a level. And the level operating off the principle that water is going to level itself out. Level. I tilt it, still level. I tip, level. It stays level. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's the reality right in front of my eyes. Like the seed in every animal starting his life off as a seed. I'm arguing with ChatGPT yesterday about I tell ChatGPT, do elephants have eggs? I just start naming different animals, but all of them got a seed, an egg, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So ChatGPT, like elephants don't lay eggs. Key thing it said lay. I wasn't talking about laying. I'm talking about everything having a seed as a beginning. All right, so eventually I break the joint down and say, yes, elephants do have eggs. Eggs turn into ova, embryo, and it start naming all the stages. But at the end of the day, we come from a seed. That's the reality of the matter. Getting into Christianity, again, those killers and conquerors said they a patriarch. You out. So patriarchs is male dominated. Matriarch is female dominated, so to speak. Big mama run the household. Yeah, but Christianity gonna start off as a yeah. Yeah, this don't no good. About to work out. Yeah. Yeah, but that's them Christians. So they say the oldest book is Septuagint. Septuagint gonna start in, and that's gonna be your Old Testament. That's gonna be what they gonna base the Torah off of, and all that other stuff. But it's got a Hindu mix with it, mixed with some African stories. It's a remix. It's kind of sort of like the same way we see white folks today, and they mimic and they copy the way we moving and whatnot. They was doing that back then too.
They still doing
this, man. What we talking about? Most of American culture, when you really look at it, it'd be some African, it'd be everybody else but them.
You know who at the head of this American shit?
Who that?
NASA.
They talking about NASA. They starting to drum up the we ain't go to the moon thing again, and the people who actually ran it was some fucked up individuals, satanists or something like that.
They was Nazis.
Nazis.
Yeah. World War II.
Yeah.
Once we won that jump, we grabbed all their sciences.
All their sciences. They said
and all their rocket makers.
Look, yeah. But they said they said we was out that jump with prop planes with the propeller in the front and whatnot. Said the German came through in the fighter jet. Doing like 300 miles per hour. They was out there doing 40 in the sky. They was like, yeah, the Germans is way ahead of the game.
Yeah, that motherfucker knew something, you know. That's why they got them up out of there for real.
But you know, the rocket really goes all the way back to China, man, and fireworks and all that other good stuff. That was the original rocket. So you see early on when somebody smart come up with something, it's something to make everybody happy. But then you got them individuals who will learn your craft, put a little hoo-ha with it.
I was trying to figure out where that shit started at.
China made the first rockets.
Had to start before that though, cause
you needed that powder, that explosive, and then you needed to know that you could channel the explosive, right?
Yeah.
You could channel the jump, and that had force. I seen a jump with the Egyptians had steam power they was looking at. So they was looking at the force that you could, the fact that you could have that vacuum, that channel of air pressure, and it spin a little thing around in a circle. It was like a teapot sitting on the stove. The steam came out. It had little catchers on it or whatever like that, and every time the steam got into them catchers, it spin the wheel around. But that's old. It was an old Egyptian little thing. I'm saying the astrolabe, all that ancient scientific stuff don't come from no Christians or Catholics at all.
This is before Christianity.
Yeah, and them was way smarter than what Christianity done came up with.
And the Aztecs and Mayans was BC, right?
Aztecs and yeah, we want to say they was BC, but they often give them the 13th century little grade, like they came up 200 years before they had bumped into them or whatever. But funny thing about the Aztecs and Mayans, they gonna have a calendar. They say that calendar go back all the way back to the date when the Africans showed up, because their calendar and the African calendar on point. The thing about when you looking at South American architecture and what they got going on, you're not gonna see the developmental phase. Everything gonna be a boom. You're not gonna see no old forms of stonework that look a little janky or nothing like that. Nah, it's all crisp out the box. So you've been taught by somebody else, push you along the evolution and everything like that. You ain't go through the trial.
Yeah, that's why I say it's got to be before that.
So the Olmecs,
it's got to go back like 20,000 years ago, at least.
Them Olmecs and what they was doing, and them pyramids and what we seeing, them step pyramids, but they got a little smooth sidedness to them, but they still. All right, so we go back to the Mastaba time period in Egypt and whatnot, and that's like what's that, Saqqara or something like that? The Pyramid of Saqqara?
I know about the Saqqara pyramid.
Yeah, that's a step jump right there. Yeah. But I'm saying, as far as like time period, I match them two time pyramids, because the pyramids over here looking a little something like the pyramids over there. Then you look at the stone and how they was moving stone 500 miles from this spot to over here. You like, yeah. But the Olmec's gonna take place in that little strip, like below Panama, above Brazil and all that shit. It's in that little corridor stretch of South America. They gonna be right in the middle of that jump. The Incas. You go to Peru, they got a museum. You can go to the museum online, right? The museum got a king list now. Everybody on the king list, brown is on. That look like Sharp Margot.
They used to work in there.
I
ain't seen her since she looked at you.
Yeah, without glasses. Look like her without glasses and shit. Yeah, so we been.
But you know, when it was still saber-tooth tigers and shit, we had the arrowhead, spears and shit.
Alright. They call Sudan down there at the bottom, the start of the Egyptian society. They call that the land of the bow. Meaning like we was real good with that bow and arrow. But then you see the South American, what the Native American got. He got a bow and arrow. So you gotta ask yourself, how do they have the same technology?
Thousands of miles away.
All right. Now the Chinaman and the African gonna be the early inhabitants of America. When you mix Chinaman and you mix African, you get Mexican. I bullshit you now. Them two have a baby, them Mexican babies. Them Latinos right there, mulattoes or whatever like that. But yeah, you seeing a mix. So that Asian had a bow and arrow. You'd be like, well, if they got a bow and arrow, the Asians, the Chinaman got a Japanese got a bow and arrow, and the African got. We see ancient times was sharing information and technology. They wasn't solo like they like to write in them books.
Another thing they forget to factor in, this shit was together
What they call that John Pantera or some shit?
at one time.
Yeah. But I don't think we gonna survive. Maybe that's when the dinosaurs was roaming around, they say. I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
really
I think everything really happened after the Ice Age.
I think that's when when
At
we
the
get
end
into
of the
present
Ice
day.
Age.
I think all right, so 10,000 BC, something go on, shake, rattle, and a boom. Next thing we know, we starting to see white folks in boats float down all the way into the Mediterranean. We see them cross mountains. They coming this way. They move. They was in the east, and they moving to the west. They gonna be residents of Spain. They gonna become residents of Germany. They gonna become residents of Lithuania or something like that. But
That was
they,
the get away from the cold.
yeah, something happened along them channels.
Get away from the disaster.
Um, but we got Catholics, and them Catholics can't. All right, so in Hindu they got Arianism. And that's where they say the white folks came in and did something to the whatever was going on. You see a cultural little something going on. Because you can look in them caves they got in India and you see black faces like the ones you see in Egypt. Man, architecture off the chain. The snake is in full effect. The king cobra is all over the place in India. You don't shiny as a motherfucker.
You don't even want to
Yeah,
spend them motherfuckers.
you shiny as shit.
Hey, look at
You got the titanium jumps.
What the fuck she give me?
She gave you that. Is that quarter heavier though, or is it lighter?
It feels lighter.
Yeah, Mo. That's what I'm saying. They shine it up, but it ain't got enough. What's the name?
They done traded us up from nickel and.
Hey, they used to have. I just learned this. They had silvers in them dimes for real. Slim pulled out some dimes. He had a roll of $5 dimes from like 1930 or some shit like that. I don't know, but he weighed it out and it's worth $130, not $5 in dimes. He was like, man, I'm gonna melt all this. That's 130 because in silver, the grams and all that counted up.
I got one more silver dollar.
Yeah, once they hit Egypt though, it's a wrap. Son.
Run this here real quick.
You about to get some cigarettes?
And a pack of them. I only got enough for one.
Oh shit, I got
a pack of them peanuts.
You grab me 2 cigarettes out there, John. You need some
Two?
change. Yeah. Appreciate you. Yeah, we talking about them killers,
What's that?
conquerors,
Let me get 2 singles.
Catholics, 3. And colonialism. Now the other day we talked about the seed and the syndrome. That's like step 1 and 2. You move on from the seed and the syndrome. Now you realize that there's a life out there, Joe. A reality out there, Joe, that you need to be attached to. And once you realize you in a certain reality, you need to look at things for what they are. And we are kidnapped people. Which there's a certain reality with that where we can't believe everything that we sold and told. Especially when we look at who it comes from. Even though they say, don't shoot the messenger. You like, no. And you look at the Catholic, and the Catholic he gonna later on, New Testament, he gonna have an illiterate prophet. You ask yourself, why is Jesus illiterate? Why are they telling me a story about a Jesus who's supposed to be 2,025 years old? But the letter J is from 1524. That's 500 years old, not 2,000 years. Inconsistencies. And they say when you inconsistent with reality.
They ain't even had them damn peanuts we had yesterday. I was wondering where my man was at.
Who that?
With the blue jump.
With the blue jump? Oh, we pulling up now. Oh yeah, I can say too. Appreciate you. Yeah, man. So that's
I got one more silver dollar.
yeah, but they don't talk about how they gonna have the crusades to children. I think we were killed so long that ain't nothing but kids left.
Yeah, I mean,
Ain't nothing but kids left though, Mo. What's up, Pimpin'? Man,
what's
everything
happening with
good. Oh yeah. We recorded, man. You weren't out here yesterday, man. We had to turn the corner up. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, nah, not right now. Perfect joint for it already. Yeah. You done recorded. Already ready. Mm-hmm. Sure. Nobody need.
I just happened to put something on my stomach when I drunk one of them jumps.
Yeah, them jokes kind of strong in the morning. That first one in the morning.
You know, I was so motherfucking drunk yesterday. I went in the house, I woke up, it was like 4 something. I went in the house, I just kept spinning. I'm like, man, let me lay my ass down.
Needed that nap. Had to
What
get
I had that Coevo, and I
yeah.
think 2 of them,
You had two, yeah, cause EB kept going to the gym yesterday. I was like, man, we pilled
I
out.
still got one, matter of fact. I only had one. I still got one in the house.
Man, I drunk. Look. I came out
When Labor Day?
Monday tomorrow and shit. Tomorrow. Yeah, Monday. Cause Monday the 5th, right? Monday the 1st.
Yeah.
Hey, that's wild as shit. You know, they usually be on like the 5th or some shit like that.
I thought it was the 9th.
I just remember back in the day we used to go to school around this time. And it
You
was a
hear that
lot.
hawk?
Huh?
You hear that hawk?
Them hawks out there. Yeah. You seen the eagle nest though? Back up in the park?
I done seen them jump flying around here.
Yeah. They working the river now, man. They working that jump.
That's the only food source for real. But it ain't many small animals and rodents around here.
Slim, you ever see the wild turkeys that be running back up in this jump sometime? Hey, I seen a turkey walking. I said, this is the wildest shit ever. The motherfucker, you know, he got that long neck and shit. And when he be walking and whatnot, his neck be moving and what he got a wild little. You seen a turkey? Like a wild turkey just walking through the
I
neighborhood
seen them
type
in
shit.
Fort DuPont.
They got a wild walk with them. Look like they on that shit. They out there.
Nah, my man used to live back here. Say,
How clear it is.
my man used to live back here. So he came outside and he saw a pig.
He say what?
He came outside and he saw a pig.
A pig.
A pig.
A pig? Who the fuck me go have a pig out this joint? I remember, look, you remember the chickens that used to be down this joint?
The Bama used to have a rooster too.
A rooster.
Early morning, that motherfucker.
Nah, hey, down by the liquor store down that joint. Chickens. Used to have to wait for the chickens to cross the street and shit. But they don't move. They white. I think they was white folks though. They wanted me. This was 80s, 90s. They was white folks. I feel like 60. You can get up to like you doing them Jones like treat that Jones like 8-hour job, like a real back to back and run them Jones off, and then go back through them Jones. I got my own engineer. I'm just doing everything myself. I told you. It was it's an app for the vocals though. My vocals good. I just use the whatever make it. You putting a sound blend it with my song with the beat. So
I don't really like. I do everything from scratch. Like I teach myself. So I told you.
All right, so look, so pull down them filters and them compressors and all them Jones. Start playing with them Jones, and yeah,
If you listen to that,
yeah, it take all the air out the vocal.
my first engineer song. The first song I engineered.
On your bone, on Thugs and Harmony shit.
Give me 2 months. This is the next one.
The app going.
Nigga, find that shit. That was my niggas ain't been through what I've been through. I'm a type of nigga put this on you when you're in school. So I'm a brother, we need to find myself. I can hold my own gun, I don't need no help. Y'all niggas locked up, yeah, but I'm for myself. Everything you gotta do, you I do for the work. Some of the niggas in the pen who play they self. Shit real out here, head close to your cup. I don't wanna have to lay a nigga down for a couple dollars just to make it to the next thing. Yeah, I'm done playing, yeah. The church face back, and go there, on sideways. Nigga, them gangsta shit. Everything.
I think you added in your ad libs. On that last bar, you had little ad libs on backing you up on that jump. Just then, yeah.
And it's double.
That's what I'm saying. I hear it.
Double.
Yeah. But I be telling you 4. You that jump 4 times.
Give me a couple months.
You gonna be up to 4 times on that
jump.
jump.
Already, you hear how I sound. That's my first time ever engineered, ad-libbing, punching in, punching out.
That's how you do it.
All
You
that.
learn that shit and do it just like you
Yo, that shit sounds. Listen, this is the sound nobody never heard, nigga. Nobody never heard no music sound like this. No hook. Niggas ain't been through what I've been through. And I'm gonna go back over it again. I'm gonna record it again separately. But I'm gonna keep this original. But I'm gonna record it again because I think that
Take all that focus, put that down into a radio cut. Radio cut. Put everything in the finding your radio cut.
You can't really hit my vocal. You can't really hit a beat too. This is what bro like. This is what.
So you keep going with it.
I'm trying to get this shit.
Look, I'm telling you, go to them apps. They got the app to take your vocal and make that jump be just instantaneous, like whatever you want to add, auto-tune your shit, whatever. I just forgot the name of the app though.
My next one I'm ready for. And look, when I do a rapper, do it all beats. Put up on the block, Louis shades on. Yo, I'm so high, I'm in my own zone. I'm fresh and toe like a newborn. No chain, nigga, just got a watch on. And I pay cash money for this bling bling. Yo, out to the streets for one thing. That's keep my gun and shoot them in. I'm thinking, yeah, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be all beat with it. I got to.
Radio cut.
I'm gonna be all beat with it.
You got 1,000 songs, but that focus on that radio cut, that shit just gonna open up doors.
I got a radio song called Black Lives Matter, but that shit got tarnished.
Push.
Tarnished Black Lives Matter.
It could be a love jam, it could be radio cut. Right now I hear so much R&B on the radio that they pumping. That Drake lane real live open. That song and that rap open. What I'm missing?
God damn, that joint just made it hot as a
Oh
motherfucker.
yeah, that's a good one.
I'm saying
Ain't
staying
too
in
much
the shade.
cussing in that. I ain't got too much cussing in that. Make that nigga don't want me to make it. They so fake, they don't play this. Smoke this widow. Got me, they can't sit on me. You contemplate. All my niggas who like the Navy. JK Martin, had some babies. Mama's baby, daddy's baby. I'm favorite chick for the black creator. They my baby, my bitch got shady. Even great with the nigga gate. I just cracked off with a guy on face. Got a new content. Yeah, that bitch all that. I can do that one on a radio tip.
Hey, listen.
I'm telling you, all this is a perfection, bro. I'm telling you, I'm this shit by myself. I'm just a vibe.
You working.
I let a nigga in, nigga talking about, yeah, I'm ready to tell you, fuck all that. You talking about telling yo, he trying to do videos, you ain't tell him talk to the CEO. How you gonna dictate something? He ain't gonna talk to the boss.
You
Like
got,
a business you trying to run.
hey, you got to stand on top of the pyramid.
Man, fall back. This ready to be the song. Nigga, this ready to be the song. This gonna be my whole, I'm gonna put in my else on it. Niggas ain't been through what I've been through. I'm a type of nigga put this on you with a whole crew. I'm a rider. By myself. I can hold on, John. I don't need no help. Y'all niggas walked up, give it all myself. And the things that I do, I do. I see y'all. My niggas in the pen who bring it out.
I play it.
I don't wanna have to lay a nigga down for $100 just to make it to the next thing. Yeah, I'm gonna say.
Yeah, Slim gotta find the radio cuts now. Gotta find a radio cut, no.
Yeah, because that's what actually,
That's what push everything.
yeah,
Push everything. You, I don't care how many.
like Will Smith Summertime.
Push, big push.
He's still getting paid
he
off
still
that
get
jump.
royalties off that jump.
Hey, that joint probably got more spins than any other song ever.
I ain't gonna lie. When that jump first came out, as a little one, man, I love that jump.
Even still
Parents
to
don't
the day,
understand.
in the summertime, they play that motherfucker
They
a million
go
times a day.
look. Give it another 10 years, it's gonna have, you know how Frankie Beverly Before I Let Go, it's gonna be on that type status. It's already like a little baby of it. You know what I'm saying? It's one of them grooves you gotta play.
That jump in first of the month.
First of the month, yeah.
First of the month get played every month.
It should be.
First of the month. It do.
Should be. If you a DJ, you might as well go ahead and just resign if you ain't play that joint on the first.
That joint in summertime get played 100 times a day every summer,
As soon as that,
all day, every day.
that little, that'll be cooking.
Them motherfuckers swarmed the shit out of that peanut.
Eating that joint.
I was watching this jump. Nigga put the little piece of hot dog out there. An ant came
Yeah.
and he was fucking with the jump. Then he went back to the hole to
Yeah.
get some other ants.
Got his man.
Nah, the nigga picked the jump up. All the rest of the ants came out. It wasn't nothing right there. Then they went back in. He put it back right there. The one ant came back again.
He
Then
toying
he went back.
with him.
He picked that jump up again.
But that's it. You know, even the ants communicating. They like, hey, come on, cuz.
Some food out here.
Food out here. Big food out here.
But then he gonna pick it up. And then they come back and they like, man, ain't no food out here, man. Fuck is you talking about?
I'm trying to tell you, it's a battle underground, Slim.
Mm-hmm.
Ants, all that shit. We scoop up some dirt right now. There's something living in that joint.
And I think that's how the ancients really learned from animals.
Looking at nature. That's how you.
Because when the weather get hectic, they go hide.
Yeah. They watching them birds. They see them patterns. They ready, hold on, a storm coming and shit. Ain't no birds out here. They done went south or whatever. And that's the need for all them sculptures we got. We got the monkey. You know, one monkey teach another monkey. You got the vulture. You know, the vulture will peck itself like, all right, the vulture can get back to the nest. It ain't got no food. The babies is crying in that nest. They need some food. The vulture gonna peck itself, bleed, feed the blood, its own blood to its kids so they can make it through another day. A symbol of sacrifice, a symbol of womanhood, you know what I'm saying? But we watching nature. We picking up them stories from the creator and its creations, not a book and its fiction. The
That's
eagle,
that. I believe in the Akashic record, but it's not what they think it is. Is knowing what to do in that situation. Like you said, pick themselves and feed their kid for survival. Is knowing what to do in that situation without knowing.
yeah. All right, so when we just react, ain't no plan, ain't no program to it. Innate is what they call that. It's an innate quality. It's the reason why that baby know to find a titty. That baby been living 3 hours and looking for a titty already. Like who the fuck told the baby it need a titty?
Yeah.
That motherfucker. Look, the grandmothers come in there and be like, "Oh, this baby just love me." Nah, that baby sitting on milk right now, happy as a son. And like, how does it know?
I got an aunt. That's all she say every time I see it. When you was a baby, you just love to lay on my titty.
Shit. Out here looking like Daddy Warbucks, and you sitting on billions of dollars worth of milk to you. So, all right. So when you look at nature, right, a baby is a baby is a baby is a baby. By that I mean, when we see this life form go from a seed, it done been born, now it's a baby, right? Every baby need the support of its mother. And no matter what creature you looking out here, a baby is a baby.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing hopping out that womb and boom, it's just ready to go on full tilt. Like it's gonna take some maturing that goes on.
It don't matter what animal you choose. Like I seen the motherfucker that raised the raccoon.
Baby coon, yeah, you catch a baby, you can
And that
domesticate.
joint was like a little puppy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, especially if he had another dog in the house. That raccoon don't know no better. It's gonna learn everything from a dog. So yeah, it's gonna have a lot of dog. You raise a cat or a dog around a cat.
Yeah.
It depends on who the OG. Cause your cat may turn out like a dog if it's the little kitten and the dog is the big joke. Then it's gonna have them dog tendencies because the dog was the dominating one. But if the cat the older one and the puppy brought around the cat, man, that puppy know who run shit, know who the
I
boss.
seen one, the cat wasn't meowing. That motherfucker,
Yeah, spent too much time by them dogs.
That's how my next door neighbor got a cat. And that motherfucker just out there with the dog, dominating the dog.
Look, and this is what I meant to tell you this morning. I'm thinking about you yesterday because I bumped into Cuz at the park, right? I used to walk with some folks. I got some white friends and whatnot, right? So he telling me that the older white lady, her dog, first of all, her dog died, then she got a new dog. Well, the new dog is the fucking model with Polo. Like Polo showed me the picture of the ad. He said, yeah, look at Mojo. I said, how the fuck? He said, yeah, when she got the dog, the owner from LA or whatever, the breeder from LA, and Polo called him up like, yeah, we like that breed. Come bring out some of your puppies or whatever like that. So her dog go through a little modeling jump. When Polo model. I said, okay, that explained the new truck. I said, but I don't know how much that dog making. I said, Mike, you know them dogs 20 bands a pop. She said, yeah, she getting calls right now from people in LA that's like, okay, that's the new dog, that's the new trend. I want one of them type shit going on. I said, they from LA. The Bama sitting up in a $10, $20 million home all day. They got 20 bands on the dog like it ain't nothing.
Yeah. They want a couple on.
He said, look, the litter, it's only 9 in the litter from his litter that he got studded out for. I said 9. He said, yeah, but she got like 15 requests from that litter. I said, well, push the price up till you only got 7, 8 motherfuckers standing around. And that's the price of the dog. So you never know. You pick up the phone and be like, yeah, you wanted a puppy, they 20 bands. You're like, okay, 20 bands, let me call you back. Tell everybody 20 bands. Now you getting phone calls back talking about, you still got that dog for 20 bands? You be like, yeah, I only got 3 left and I just got a call for 30. Like, that price going up.
That's all you gotta have a good name for them jump.
So she from Poland, and I think it's some type of Polish breed, I want to say. But it's a brown, it's like a water hound jump, because it got the big ears like a hound dog got big ears, but not big, super dumb, goofy jumps, and it's got a short coat on it. It's a hunting dog for real, like a real live hunting dog. Kind of tall, reddish brown.
I might have seen them jump before.
Now look, she don't know that I know that she done came up on the bag off of having this dog be the brand Polo ambassador on these pictures and shit. She been real humble, cause she ain't tell me that, but her and Mike, they best friends, so I
Got
could
to be some millions, yo.
Man, listen, my mind started running as soon as he showed me the picture. That's Mojo. I said, Mojo is a star right now. I said, Snap. I said, you think 20 bands, 9 puppies? That's 180 bands real quick. But
One
you could
litter.
look. I said that's just the first litter. I said, man, that's a young dog. Cause like I told you, she had. All right, so she be keeping 2 of them Jones, reddish brown Jones. Now the other 2, they got so old they died. Then she came back with the 1 Jones. She was like, I'm just gonna get 1. I ain't gonna get 2. But the 1 Jones don't turn into that money maker. I said, I thought it's such a small world. But your dog doing ads for Polo. I'm talking about taking good pictures, cuz. I'm talking about dog just up there, sitting up there chilling with the, like he know he had a photo shoot type shit going on.
No,
Like,
he getting paid.
know he getting, man, he been eating good that whole time he went up to L.A. If they shot it in L.A., who knows? They may have shot that shit in New York or something. I don't know. I ain't getting into all that. But I was surprised as a motherfucker. I see Cuz got out. You know he on wild nut status. After what they trying to rob? It wasn't a 7-Eleven, corner store, some shit.
What's happening?
Some shit.
I don't know. I know my man nephew. He was my man when he was little, but now
Wow.
they say he off the hook. Police be coming to his house looking for him.
He grew up with his father.
Nah.
That shit. I think a lot of that shit gotta be like we were saying about the cat and the dog and how they learning things and they see who's dominant and they see how that junk dominate and then they repeat that pattern. It's like a female with some of that shit, bro. Like you learn everything from a woman and you ain't got your father in the house. Well, you don't really know how a man be operating with his woman type deal.
Yeah.
So you grow up, you see your mother spazzing out, cussing people out and everything. But that's a female doing it. Ain't nobody about to be starting us. We ain't knuckling up with no lady. But you see it and think that's the move. So boom, you come out here, you hop off the porch, you try to spaz on them on a grown man. That shit ain't going down.
That's how it be happening too.
Man, what we call them microwave.
Hmm.
Microwaves. It don't take long for them to see. You push that button, they ready to go. like a microwave. And that whole time he out here dogging his grandmother John. You know what I'm saying? Acting like that's his shit, man. Yeah, he wild nutbag.
Them young niggas be having stolen Hellcats and shit.
You know, Richmond was back in the day. Richmond used to have the chop shop. Was like, yeah,
I was like, man, if only I knew where one was at.
you got bump an amigo or an African. Cause you know the Africans, man, they steal a junk, put that bitch in a container,
Yeah, send that down overseas.
send that junk right overseas. Always say, look, if I leave the country and shit, I'm gonna buy up a whole bunch of shit. I might buy 5 cars in one day. They all think I ain't got not one car, but I'm gonna buy 5 that afternoon type shit.
Then you can go to
And then
Africa
look,
and make you some money.
Put them Jones in the container, ship them off, sell 2 of them when I shut touchdown, keep 3. You know what I'm saying?
I know somebody used to do that shit African. Or old Benzes and Volvos.
Ship them Jones right over. Right over. We need some more dealerships overseas apparently.
Man, I'm trying to get a motherfucker cotton of cigarettes out this 7-Eleven.
Cotton, you think cuz slipping?
Ain't nobody in there but her.
Ain't nobody in there. Catch them in the bathroom.
That's how the nigga in here.
Catch them in the bathroom.
Nah, the manager was here. The
Oh.
owner.
Oh, yeah.
And they was out back.
Yeah.
And my man was in that junk. This was 2-3 days ago.
2-3 days ago.
He was behind he was in the glass pot stealing cotton. They caught his ass though.
Caught his ass. He must pull that move often.
They was out back.
Back by the back door?
Yeah, out the back door.
Smoking cigarettes. Ain't paying attention to nothing going on.
He was throwing some shit away.
Oh, okay. Cause I came up this joint one time, and it was an African cat, right? He outside smoking a cigarette. Ain't nobody inside the store, nothing like that. I get my coffee. I'm standing at the register and whatnot. I gotta go back outside and tell cuz, like, you know, I will steal everything in this joint. Like, he was like, man, I'm smoking a cigarette though. What that got to do with you? You at work, you on the clock. He was like, oh, okay. Put the joint out and ring me up. I said, Mo, you come from different places. They be thinking it's like where they left. And nah, where you at right now, don't do that.
Damn, I ain't gonna be able to get another cup of coffee.
Why not?
I ain't got no more money. I mean, I'm good.
You good?
I was just gonna use that to go in there. It's nice and crowded right now too.
So where they keeping the packs at though?
It's a room in the back.
Oh.
Whatever don't fit on them shelves.
Gotta go to storage. Yeah.
It's the best time to go on there right now too.
Slow and sleepy. But I will say this. The little white girl from Baltimore in there, John Shawty, she ain't slipping. You need to catch
that's why it's
the Pakistanis.
Nah, that's why it's a good time now, because she busy.
And
she
it's
ain't
only
be
her.
able to come to the back.
Fuck. He trying to hit him with the bloop bloop.
Fuck. I ain't got but fucking $3. But I need to put that shit in my gas tank.
Yeah, put that in your gas tank. I'm about to say, I got some ones.
But I damn sure can.
Here go 3.
But see, the evening crew, they don't be like that. I can't.
Man, take the shit, man. Listen. Many times you done looked out.
Let me see what I could do then. Mike can get us some cigarettes.
Yeah, I'm motivating you, dog. Let's see, hey, look, you mic'd up on the mission. Hey, wow, this shit.
Hey.
LS4 looking kind of tough. Throwback looking kind of tough out here. I said the throwback looking kind of tough out here. That LS looking kind of hard.
Huh?
The black on black jump
Yeah.
with the chrome on the chrome.
Yeah, that's my man. I ain't seen them in so long.
Okay.
Since I used to work in this junk. Hey. Damn, I was trying to get you get up. You missed it.
Yeah, the Killer and the Conqueror told you he was a hunter and a gatherer. Those things that he gathered, though, he didn't tell you how he came in possession of them. A lot of white folks these days like to say they ain't got nothing to do with slavery. They terrible at debates because we see what you setting up. An absolute statement. We get it. You're not from the 1800s, 17th century. We get it. You ain't from the 60s. We get it. It's 2025. But what you are a beneficiary of a policy.
Always got coffee ground.
It's as if it's a life insurance policy that you benefit from. Now, when your grandfather make a life insurance policy, they not having you pay the premium. You don't sign the paperwork, none of that, but you are the beneficiary of a policy. And we know America ain't got no kings or kings, no queens, no kings. So you follow something called democracy, which is even more damning because now you got a majority of the population who believes in slavery. Ain't that something? They forget their early history, how they were drunks and duelists. Early American history. But going back to the Catholic, the killer and the colonizer, you see throughout the ages, they ain't never been philosophically sound, so to speak. They ain't consistency, no consistency. And then after all this time and all this killing and this conquering, they don't ask themselves, well, if our God needs a killer and a murderer in colonialism to perpetuate the message, was pushing the message on killers and conquerors. And if your God needs killers, murderers, and conquerors, well, then that's a devil. Not a God, a devil. The devil uses the evil, right? And God uses good. God is good. God is great. Ain't that what they say? They don't say God is hate. God is kill. Yeah, no, they say the devil kill and hate. So if you killing and you hating, you've been consumed by a devil. You look at Gaza and Israel, you see Israel says that they are going to commit their mischief based on a God. Now, he is a Jew. And what do we know about the letter J? So we know this man is telling us he's ancient, but what he's saying ain't ancient. So his lips don't match the script. Oh, look at this sparrow. What's up, little birdie? Little birdie.
Come on.
Yeah, so if we dealing with killers and conquerors, we understand the syndrome. Shit, we ain't falling for that shit. Fuck that. We ain't falling for that shit. What's up, bro? Killers and conquerors. Now you see Old Testament and this narrative and how the narrative reflects the politics that they want to push out. You see, they done formed an illiterate Messiah. Moses is gonna come down with commandments. Old Testament, Septuagint, Masoretic text. Them are the oldest books, but that's Septuagint from the Ptolemy Empire. They trying to form a script to teach these children and explain why they have conquered and why they are on the throne. That white man needs to explain why he's on the throne in Africa. Yeah, all the hieroglyphics, all the statues. Yes, those are Africans. Explain to them children why all they seeing with all this construction is Africans. Yet and still a killer sits on the throne. And that killer's gonna be known as some sort of Christ, some sort of enlightenment. It's the same thing that failed dualism. When they used to have duels in America, you putting one man against another man. And then you saying that God is favoring the killer. The victim, the dead and deceased, is who God didn't want. As far as duels are considered, as far as Catholicism, scriptures considered, this is how they view the killer. And the killer is put on a pedestal. Over time, you just dealing with somebody who got better and better and better with killing. Not that they was a better person, but that they conquered and they killed. So the Catholics, they're going to go out and they're going to conquer, but they're going to be very, very cautious of where they conquer. They're going to make sure that the places they conquer, they're not going to be involved with people who got better technology. When Vasco da Gama sail around Africa to India, he going to find out real quick that India got bigger ships than Europe. So India been floating in the water and floating in the water and built huge ships that dwarf Vasco's ship. Vasco gonna straddle the coastline. See, he comes, he says he discovers, he says he finds something. And then secondary to that, he comes in with a missionary service. Now the missionary service gonna take place after the conquering. After war, you have children left behind. And a child like mine is gonna be taught by their killer and their conqueror. And you gotta learn how to think for yourself. Nation after nation after nation after this junk, cause colonialism and Catholicism go hand in hand. What'd you come up with, B? Something made sense? Yeah, something made sense. Something made sense.
Can't beat that.
Can't beat that shit.
Hack the 3 out.
That's something about when you.
Oh shit! Look,
I know I told you, mic'd up on the mission. Look, when I'm gonna go back through. I'm gonna listen to this joke because yesterday the same shit happened. You wouldn't go talk to somebody else. It might be picking up when you over there and whatnot. It's supposed to be 60 feet, so probably it turned off when you went around the joke.
I don't open them that way.
You go bottom half. Sell them Jones.
Soft pack anyway.
Yeah, these are soft pack. You know, I ain't need all these Jones. I'm gonna be selling these Jones, giving these Jones out on some more shit. I said I'm gonna be selling and giving these out on some more shit, man.
Yeah, I might end up selling half the motherfucking
pack. That's 10 real quick. You ever seen The King of Hawaii?
What you mean, like a movie?
Nah, I mean like what he really looked like.
Nah, I ain't know they had the king.
King of Hawaii in Hawaii. All right, so when you talk about Hawaii, you talking about this 4,000 miles to the next landmass. It's one of the most remote islands on the planet. Hawaii, remote as I don't know what. Like define it as like a needle in the haystack. It's in the middle of the ocean type shit, but it's so far from everything else, right? So Captain Cook, I think it's Captain Cook from them folk. He go over there, he see them or whatever like that. See the Kings, and the Kings look like Uncle Phil. Kings look like your uncle. You know what I'm saying? Like the black folk. Now, his first step is to try and take blankets and give them peace offerings, but during the time period of colonialism, you gotta remember that they done had all these plagues and all these deaths and all this foul shit going on. So the blankets and the trinkets that they giving out is tainted and it's causing people to get sick. But it had the fucking blue bubonic plague on it. The motherfuckers knew that shit. So Captain Cook would give out blankets and shit and then come back 6 months later and see how many people was living. Handing out a plague. So when that couldn't kill everybody off from Hawaii, step 2 is to have a missionary service to come in. Now the missionary service gonna say that they got all this technology, these big ships, they got paper, they got pencils, they got guns, they got technology, right? So the Hawaii man is like, well, shit, you must come from God because you got all this futuristic shit on you. The missionary service gonna tell them to burn up all their old stuff. It's what Catholics do. It's colonialism. We gonna get you to burn up all your ancient artifacts, or we gonna steal them and put them in our museums,
or destroy you.
But we gonna get you to destroy your past, and what we gonna call that is a rebirth. The scripture follows it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the Christian come in there, he gets you to burn up everything that your great grandparents, great generation after, burn it all up and become a Christian. So we see Hawaii go from being like this place where the kings was brown. Now they turning more and more Asian. Now you look at a Hawaii person right now and you think he might be from China or he might be from Japan, but the Pacific Island is filled with dark faces. Pacific Island, like that Bantu African, that little short one with the little curly nappy head, he was on that boat floating, Slim. I swear he is the grandfather to the Asian folk. When I look at that little tiny African, Southeast Africa type shit, Bantus or Kyozans or whatever you want to call them, when they left, small statured African, he that small statured Asian man. When I look at an Asian person's face, I see black people's face.
How you like that, Pop?
What?
The
It's alright, but it be my legs too heavy for the jump. This part right here going it move, yeah, it snap out a spot or whatever like that. That's why I had 1 foot up. But we gonna see this jump, but yeah, you came through like shit.
That's why I want one of them jump that just lay out like the old jump.
Put the back on that jump flat up top. The pool jump.
They got some like rat jumps got shocks on it. You seen this shit?
Nah, I ain't
it
seen
got shocks on the motherfucker.
Man,
and they look just, it got poles and shit just like that.
Rat.
Except they got shocks on the back.
OG being big back like shit.
That young nigga cool as a motherfucker though.
Who?
Rat.
Yeah, Rat cool as a motherfucker. Yeah, during the week we gonna go Facebook Live on his Facebook Live and shit, cause he already got a Facebook page. I ain't got no Facebook page.
I got a Facebook page, but I don't ever be on that jump.
Me too. That's why I told him. I said, man, I ain't been on that shit since Facebook was invented. And when Facebook was invented, you know, MySpace was really the dog out this jump.
I remember MySpace.
MySpace was a dog.
MySpace, and then T-Mobile came out with his own jump, Moco Space.
Nah.
You had to have a T-Mobile phone though.
Oh. I ain't never heard of Moco Space.
T-Mobile had his own group little jump. And man, I met so many bitches off that jump.
Where?
Man, I was going to Chesapeake Bay, crossed the
Oh,
bridge.
you was on moves.
Man,
Hell
what?
yeah.
Like a motherfucker.
Hell yeah. Black Planet. Remember Black Planet? Yeah, Black Planet in MySpace was holding it down. Then out of the blue come Facebook, and I'm going back to school at that time, and everybody in the school got Facebook, and I'm like, oh no, that's a play, Slim. I said, ain't no way they plugged into every school and they a website, and they just a regular old website. Who gave them permission to get with every child in every school? And I say, that's the feds right there. Then you look at Mark Zuckerberg pad, that's the feds right there.
Yeah, they probably paying them for information.
Hey, look, Jeff Bezos, Amazon, that's the feds. Like, control is something else in this country. And it be your armed services, for the most part, doing some of the most fuckery the world ever seen, coming by somebody who's supposed to protect and serve.
It's a room in the back. They usually keep, well, when I was working there, they keep it locked. Ever since I haven't been there, that motherfucker don't never be locked.
Man, we got
Never be
turn the motherfucking microphone, turn this shit off.
And